As you all know, I do not watch wrestling anymore. But my boy had informed me last night that a match was going to happen that caught my attention. And remember, I did my rant about not doing wrestling reactions anymore. I told you it would have to be something like Stone Cold coming back, maybe The Rock coming back, or something like that to get me to watch again. Well, it looks like Haley's Comet happens to be passing over again, because two of my favorites of all time, as a matter of fact, one of the most influential wrestlers on myself, is coming back to face The Undertaker. This should be very interesting. Goldberg versus The Undertaker. For those of you that don't know, Goldberg was the first wrestler that actually inspired me to become a wrestler myself. I started looking into schools and all that shit. I actually shaved my head and grew a grizzly goatee. I was working shoulders 10 times a week. Shoulders and traps every single day. Like, that's how much the dude inspired me. I went to meet him. I looked like a little bitch when I shook his hand. I was starstruck. That's how much the man influenced me back then. So, now he faces The Undertaker. Somebody that I was absolutely acting like a little kid when I went to see him. I went to see him in Trenton, New Jersey. It's a few years ago. And this is before, the streak, he, lost the streak and everything. This was when he was still doing his thing. And it was funny, my girl at the time, she said, you should have seen your face. You were like a little kid the whole time. I was. Because it was like my first time seeing him, like, up close in person. Like, it was a small arena. It was smaller than I thought it was going to be. So when I got in, I was like, oh my God. I was like, it's him. I was fucked up. He ended the show, too. So on the way out, shit, I didn't leave until he left. I was watching the whole time. You know what I mean? So we already know the legacy of The Undertaker. We already know the legacy of Goldberg. And when Goldberg came back, he was more of a family man. He wasn't the monster that I remembered him to be. But I still enjoyed every time he was on the show. He had even said something like, I'm wondering if he heard or saw my video. Because he was talking about how people were talking about he wasn't the same and all this other stuff. I was like, did he see my video? Is he talking to me? Felt a little bad. But as a fan, it's different when you see, we don't know what's in the man's head. So as a fan, it's different when we're expressing what we want. So I had one of my moments, how y'all be like, yo man, how come you don't do this? How come you don't do it? Because I don't want to. Basically, that's what he told me. And anybody else that had an issue with what he said, I'm like, okay, bro. But we now have this match. This is like Sting Undertaker type of stuff. This is something I think people have wanted to see. This is WWE is making its return to King King Abdullah City Sports Stadium in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia on June 7th for the recently announced Super Showdown event. And we've already been made aware that the international card will feature the return of the legendary Goldberg. The opponent for Goldberg at Super Showdown will give fans a dream match considered long overdue. Yeah. As WWE announced on Monday that he will be squaring off with The Undertaker during the company's third appearance in Saudi Arabia under a 10-year agreement that was signed with Saudi General Sports Authority in 2018. Despite the out of left field nature of the match announcement to many, a potential one-on-one encounter between the two legends has been teased fairly recently. Both men participated in the 2017 Royal Rumble match, which took place in San Antonio, Texas. At one point, a standoff ensued. Shortly thereafter, The Undertaker wound up eliminating Goldberg from the 30-man over-the-top rope match that carries with it a WrestleMania World Championship opportunity. Goldberg made a triumphant return to WWE in November 2016, following a 12-year absence from the company, and he proceeded to make his presence felt in a major way by defeating Brock Lesnar in just 1 minute and 25 seconds at Survivor Series that year. In March 2017 at WWE Fastlane pay-per-view event, Goldberg once again earned the status of world champion when he defeated Kevin Owens for the Universal Championship. Just 1 month later, at WrestleMania 33, Lesnar got his retribution in the last match Goldberg had competed in for WWE as he captured the Universal title from Goldberg. In April 2018, Goldberg was the headlining inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame. The Undertaker has been making sporadic appearances for WWE as of late. The Dead Man's last bit of action inside the ring, ironically enough, took place during WWE's most recent trip to Saudi Arabia for the Crown Jewel event in November 2018, where he teamed with Kane to take on the Generation X tandem of Triple H and Shawn Michaels in a losing effort. The Undertaker's last appearance overall for WWE went down the night after he missed his first WrestleMania since the year 2000 as he interrupted Elias on Raw last month. In addition to the first ever Goldberg my teeth got stuck on my bottom lip versus I make sure they nice and slick so the teeth slide. In addition to the first ever Goldberg versus Undertaker meeting, WWE also announced that the Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia will feature another chapter in the Triple H versus Randy Orton rivalry, as well as the 50-man Battle Royal, the largest ever in the company history. Well, you guys wanted more wrestling reactions out of me. You're going to get one more. Okay, so make sure that you guys tune in on that date. Make sure you remind me too, because I don't watch the shit. So let me know, and I'll be watching it. 10 million subscribers. Woo! You may now subscribe.